Money introductory video. My name is Leanne Jacobs, and I am thrilled to have you join me for the next 20 minutes or so, wherever you are in the world. We're going to talk about some strategies and ideas and very simple activities that you can actually implement today to help you flow into your next level of incredible greatness and abundance in your life. So, we're going to look at what are some of the things we can do to actually maybe stop chasing so much, stop forcing so much, and really looking at being more grounded and flowing to our next level of incredible leadership, greatness, and abundance. So, that's what this beautiful money movement is all about. And I wanted to introduce you not only to the beautiful money movement and to myself, but also to help you get started on some super simple things you can do today to get your life to that next level of incredible awesomeness and greatness that you are absolutely, I know, ready for. So, just a little bit about myself. I love to share some of my core values, a little bit about my background, and why I actually am doing these webinars and why I developed the Beautiful Money movement. So, just a little bit about myself. I'm a mom of three right now, soon to be four in the next 5 weeks. And I have a stepdaughter and three little guys, all under three. And why I'm doing this is because I have a huge, huge passion for educating and helping be a spark plug for people to create more freedom in their lives, to live out their global greatness, and to pursue absolutely their greatest passions and desires. So, to design a lifestyle around core values so that we don't get in that trap that I was in sort of in my 20s, where I kind of had golden handcuffs. I had a great corporate career, but I really was chasing ambition and chasing achievement. And that only, you can only go with that for so long before you really start to feel a void. I really felt that from a soul level, I wasn't living on purpose. And I also had adrenal fatigue from just chasing, working full time for Johnson and Johnson and then doing my MBA in the evenings. And then I would run marathons and work out about 2 hours a day. And it wasn't sustainable. So by my late 20s, I definitely had adrenal fatigue and I just crashed. And I just realized that I was lacking fulfillment. And so, yes, it's great to have all these amazing achievements, but I hadn't designed my lifestyle around my core values. So, my exercise at 29 was really to start a process of flowing more into amazing greatness, authenticity, aligned abundance, and learn how to really what to do, how to say no to the good so that you can say yes to the great, like Jim Rohn says. And so that's what we're going to talk about over the next 20 minutes or so. I started my career in engineering actually, and then I realized I would never trust myself to build anything. So I quickly transferred over to what was a big passion, which was life sciences. And so I did my degree in biomedical toxicology, which I loved. But then I realized I didn't really want to be in a lab for the rest of my life. So I looked at what are some other things I could do? How could I make a greater contribution to the world, maybe with my working with people or in industry. So I decided to work for science companies and I pursued my MBA in the evening. So I had the pleasure of working with great companies like Nike, DuPont, Johnson and Johnson, L'Oreal, and that was wonderful. And again, I did that for most of my 20s. But then again, like I told you, I got to a point where I felt that my contribution was limited and I wanted to study leadership more and learn how could I actually there's got to be other people that feel like I do, like they're in a little bit of a trap and they are almost screaming inside to get out, but they don't know how to escape and get how do you bust out to that next level. So I took some time to talk to people, interview people, and thank goodness had incredible mentors in my life that really helped me along that path, like Bob Proctor and Carolyn Mace, and so many other amazing people. And I started to recognize that my one of my biggest core values obviously is health and freedom, but I wasn't living to the extent I could for either because I was so busy and busy being broke. And when I say broke, I had a six-figure salary, but I was living paycheck to paycheck. I was just getting by all the time and burning myself out for it. So I really wanted to figure out how could I create a lifestyle where I'm in charge, I'm in the driver's seat, and my schedule is owned by me, not by other people. So that if I do fail or if I do burn myself out, I have no one else to blame but myself because I have the freedom to create whatever it is I want. So that was really an eye opener for me. And we'll talk a little bit about some very simple things if this might resonate with you. So as I freed up my time, I then started to redesign a lifestyle instead of just making a living around my passions, and being health and wellness being a huge passion of mine. I pursued my teacher training for yoga with Sean Korn, and Melanie Smith, which I'm so grateful for. And also, I became a Pilates instructor, and I got my certification as a clinical nutritionist. So because I had time, and I love learning, I was able to really spend my time doing what I loved. So that was great, so incredible, and I was so grateful for that. I share some of my passions here, but really my goal is to teach you and to teach other people who are interested in around the world to, what are some of the simple first steps that we can take to shift some and do some tweaking in our life so that we can be more grounded, more mindful, and we can also flow into, like I mentioned, the next level of our own abundance with incredible grace. And we don't have to, feel forced and tense in ourselves. And that's that inner tension of stress. We don't want to feel that in our bodies because obviously it affects our well-being and our health and our emotions. So how can we do that? And so we'll talk a little bit about this. So I love mentoring people on how to design lifestyles around what it is they love, how to select financial vehicles. I love wellness. I also wrote a book in my late 20s, early 30s, which was called 30 Days to Wealth, and that's on Amazon. But I interviewed some of my favorite experts that had incredible lifestyles and shared a very simple 30-day program to get people on get them on the path to creating financial independence. So because of all of this work that I did, I was also able to create financial independence for myself before the age of 35. And the reason I love the concept of build things before you need them, I knew that when I became a mom, I wanted to have freedom and I wanted to have the ability to have an international life with my family. And I also knew that if I wanted that in, 3 to 5 years, well, I had to make some shifts today to get myself on that path. So it's really, for your own life, some of the things that you might like in a couple of years, today is the best time to make some subtle shifts to help you to get there in, again, like I mentioned, a much more flowing way. Oftentimes clients that I work with will wait until it's crisis mode, or wait till they totally burn out, or wait until they are completely miserable, and then they're desperate. So if we can avoid that if possible and start some things before we get to that place, that would be great. So I was in a situation where, again, I had great success from a external view, but I lacked fulfillment significantly internally. And again, the reason for that was because my day-to-day life was not designed around my core values. So that was a challenge, and that was crisis mode for me. Even though I was still, able to function and pay my bills, and I had made money and invested a little bit, it was crisis mode emotionally because I wasn't pursuing any of my passions. I did have that jail. I was in jail, even though you couldn't physically see it, but other people owned my life and my time. My schedule was insane, and I just was tired of living like that. So that was the shift for me, was recognizing that I didn't want to be 10, 20 years down the road and say, why didn't I stand up for myself more and believe in myself more to make the changes back then? So I decided that in my late 20s, that it was time now. And I had a burning desire to create an amazing lifestyle. So this is just the book that I wrote. And again, it's a very simple read. If you are in your 20s, or you're looking at a career change, or you're just looking to set yourself up on a new path without drastically changing anything crazy, this is a very simple read that will help you to get started. So, what is Beautiful Money all about? It's really about, again, like I mentioned, a movement around the world for people to fully step into their personal power, fully step into their leadership, to be in the driver's seat for their life and for what they want. And sometimes we get complacent and we move to the passenger seat, and we can get in a little bit of a rut where we hope someone else is going to come along and shake us up and move us, but it's really our responsibility to take a stand for ourselves and to not let, time is is so precious, our time and health. We can't, if we lose time and we lose health, we can't get it back. So the holistic wealth movement is for Beautiful Money is really about educating and inspiring the world to step into their next level of greatness and to create a lifestyle that is filled with abundance and grace and such wonderful contribution, and also incredible love, where we can live in abundance, help other people do the same, and create that domino effect. So it's really the leading global community committed to holistic wealth, abundance, spiritual growth, authenticity, and alignment. And yes, it's in its infancy. It just launched in April 2015, but it's growing, and it's just like-minded people who are all about contribution, all about connection, all about helping other people and lifting people up as they develop in their own journey. So, the purpose of Beautiful Money is really to mentor the world on financial, emotional, and time freedom. And I hope that this resonates with you enough to be a part of the Beautiful Money community on Facebook, or through, you'll definitely see it throughout social media. But momentum really starts when you stop focusing on what you don't want and start focusing all of your attention at the cellular level on what you do. So sometimes our mind can want something, but emotionally we might be feeling down, or we might be feeling a little bit in fear, scarcity. We don't have a connection emotionally with what we totally want. That internal fire or burning desire sometimes can be tuned off, even if our brain sort of wants something. So we don't get that momentum, is really tough to get going. But if we can really focus our entire being at the cellular level and really hone in on what we want, cook up that burning desire, and emotionally get attached to what it is we truly desire, that incredible momentum will start to churn, which is incredible. So I fully believe in, as we're starting our journeys, in the power of affirmations as tools that we can use to help us to get in that state where magic really happens. So if you are somebody who works with affirmations, I'm sure you've got many that you love. This is one that I love to use in terms of abundance. And again, I don't mean this just in a place of finances, because for me and my husband, we're really not attached to stuff and physical things. We would be totally happy being gypsies traveling around the world with our kids. However, being in a place where you don't stress about money and you are taken care of and you have that financial freedom is a wonderful, peaceful place to be. And it also allows you to have that freedom where you can contribute to a greater extent globally. It opens more doors for you. So why not alleviate that stress as quickly as possible so that you can really contribute to the world in a global way? So this is an affirmation that I love to use on a daily basis to help me start my day and end my day in a place of abundance. So you probably can't read these in detail, but the Beautiful Money principles are something that I go over in my Beautiful Money course in detail. That really, it's just some very simple things to remember around money and around finances. First and foremost, is money can absolutely hear you. It's an energy. And so we're looking at the language. I love, love, love the quote by Hafiz. The words you speak become the house you live in, one of my favorites. And I always am mindful of that when I talk about the language around money, because absolutely money can hear you. So just being mindful, especially if you're parents, that the language you use around money with your kids and with yourself, even if it's self-talk and it's not out loud, what's the language you use around money? That definitely you want to shift to a place of incredible abundance, asking for money. And sometimes that's difficult to do. I work with many clients who are gifted at different areas, business, leadership, finances, but they struggle a little bit to step into their power when it comes to asking for money. There's that correlation also with self-worth and asking for what you deserve. Or, oh, some of my clients, they always give discounts on their own personal services, and that's something I struggled with in the beginning. It's like, oh well, is this a price that's okay, or should I offer discounts? So it took me a while to get over that and really stand in my posture for, this is I'm absolutely committed to practicing getting comfortable asking for money, respecting money. And this is really important, because when we're maybe not making the money we know is on its way, but we're just in the infancy stages, to respecting how we manage the pennies and the dollars. And the universe is always watching us. So how we manage our money is really important, and how we manage our cash flow, because we want to be rewarded universally with incredible abundance. So we really have to make sure that we remember there are eyes on us, watching us, on how we respect money. And then creating wealth and not chasing money. And that's a stressful place to be. For me, I was divorced in my 20s. I had bills to pay, I had a mortgage to pay. And so the pressure of, I need to make enough money, I need to increase my salary every year, though I need to get a better job, and I need to achieve. That feeling is just so unhealthy and so stressful. I just felt so much heaviness and density around being in that chasing place all the time. If we can really just shed our life of that and just surrender to that, it makes life so much more joyful. Being clear on your intentions, and this is something we do go over in the Beautiful Money course, but really getting clear and focused on what it is you really want over the next 2 to 3 years. Because again, some subtle shifts are going to happen starting today. Balancing action and allowing. And this is really great because, action, I'm a big believer that personal action is required. And this is something that is a necessity. Learning how to time manage, learning how to prioritize, especially if you have a career or you're an entrepreneur, if you're a mom. We need to learn how to be in action without burning ourselves out. But there is this fine flow of knowing when it's time to be in action, and possibly to um, get a little bit more efficient. And also when it's time to take the hands off the wheel and just allow and let the universe work in our favor. So it's that fine balance between the two. So, question I have for you is, where are you at right now? Is a little more action in your life required? Or have you been hustling too much and you need to just let go and allow more and just let things flow into your life? So that's really one of my favorite principles. And it is definitely an art and a science to do that. Giving more, learning more, being more, teaching more. This is principle 7. And it's, how can I be a little bit better? How can I be a little more grateful? How can I practice self love a little bit more? How can I, ask for less and give more? And this is such a wonderful daily practice to do, even if it's that business phone call you have. Well, how can I give a little bit more on this phone call? Or somebody calls you for a little bit of help. How can I over deliver a little bit more? And principle number 8 is to lead with soul, lead by example. And that's something when I look for mentors for my own life, I always look at, do they walk the talk? Are they where I want to be? I am inspired by people who live out what they teach and have a aligned life. I'm really mindful of having mentors who are, none of us are perfect, but aren't workaholics, and really practice the well-being approach and the holistic approach to having an incredible lifestyle. Learning from our mistakes, having beautiful flaws, but to also recognize that health and similar core values, which is really important when you're looking for a mentor. So the whole concept behind Beautiful Money is to, again, design a lifestyle around core values. And so we look at, and this is something we do in the course, but we go through our core values, we really get clear on them, and then we can design a lifestyle and financial vehicles around those values so that you flow. And when you are in that place of incredible alignment, not that it's there every single day, but when we live in alignment most of the time, we definitely have to force less and we can flow more. So freedom is absolutely what the movement is all about, but have not only time and financial freedom. So I worked on that in my early 30s, and then I realized, wow, I've got a lot of emotional baggage that I need to shed because it's weighing me down in my life, and I want to vibrate at my highest frequency possible, but I can't do that with all this emotional baggage and things that I'm hanging on to and not letting go of that are storing in my tissues. I need to shed those. And so working on alleviating and lightening my emotional load helped me to, and continues to. It's an ongoing journey, probably a lifetime journey of really freeing myself from that emotional freedom, the emotional density that's stored in our tissues. And I love when I did my teacher training, Sean Corn talks about it as the issues in your tissues, and it's so true. And as we can lighten that load, we can just lead at to such a completely different level, and it's really much more aligned and also with so much more love that just pours out of us. So if any of this resonates with you, or if you're interested in learning more about working with me, about creating that clarity and designing your own beautiful money blueprint around your creating this incredible lifestyle, I invite you to join me on the Beautiful Money course. You can go to beautifulmoney.com and learn a little bit more about the course. We offer it almost on a monthly basis. It's a 4-week course that is completely virtual. You can live anywhere in the world. We have had it's going to be our third round of the course. We have people from all over the world join it, and it's webinar based. You also have some assignments. You have some mentoring with me, and you can also join the Beautiful Money community, again, like I mentioned, on Facebook, be part of our community. And as we grow and as we spread around the world, to be shedding your own light and love and contribution to helping people to free themselves from things that they don't love and to step into their next level of greatness where they just ooze joy and ooze contribution, and all the ego emotions and energy, they can just kind of practice shedding, and just that feeling of lightness as we do that. That process is just incredible. So the course, again, like I mentioned, it is a 4-week program. It is something you can do whether you have a job, whether you have a business, whether you're a mom, no problem. I usually run my webinars while my kids are sleeping upstairs, and it's very interactive, and we'll have ongoing communication throughout the 4 weeks. But it's just a wonderful way to kickstart and get really clear and on purpose. So if you're ready for your next level of greatness, if you would love to mentor with me for a month, if you're seeking more fulfillment in your life, if you would love to wake up inspired every single day, you may have your down days once in a while, but to wake up again on purpose and feeling so excited and inspired, then I invite you to join me on the next round of the Beautiful Money course. We will also talk about getting ready for creating your 7-figure lifestyle and to create the financial and time freedom in a healthy and flowing way so that you don't become a workaholic and you can create a lifestyle that is really leading with your core values and leading with wellness first. So again, I invite you to join me on beautifulmoney.com for the course. And if you're interested in learning a little bit about me, downloading your free ebook on 12 of my secrets for creating an incredible life, you can go to leannejacobs.com. These are some of the incredible leaders and authors that I've had the pleasure of working with and being mentored by, and also interviewing in a summit that I did last year. And so you can find out more about getting access to some of the recordings. And yeah, so thank you so much for joining me. I wish you an incredible day or evening. And